Hello, my name is Uwaila. I'm an undergrad at UCLA, and today I'll be presenting But Do It Work, Black Cosmetologists and Estheticians Varying Views on Pre-Exposure Prophylaxis and Sexual Health Beauty Salon Interventions. To get started with the background, Black women are disproportionately affected by HIV. So as shown by the figure in the middle, Black women make up 58% of HIV diagnoses among women and girls in the US. However, they're only 13% of the population. HIV pre-exposure prophylaxis, also known as PrEP, can prevent HIV if taken correctly. However, PrEP awareness and utilization are low among Black women. Because of intimate conversations that take place among Black staff and clients, beauty salons could be a setting to implement PrEP-related interventions among Black women. As a result, the study aimed to explore beauty salons' willingness and comfort to host interventions by examining Black women cosmetologists and estheticians' attitudes towards PrEP and sexual health interventions. Moving on to the methods, we conducted semi-structured interviews with 16 Black women who identified as cosmetologists or estheticians. For recruitment, we did convenience and snowball sampling. For data collection and analysis, we used Braun and Clark's stepwise process of thematic analysis influenced by grounded theory, as shown in the figure below. Moving on to the results, starting with socio-demographic characteristics, the mean age of participants was 39.5 years old. Most participants had heard of PrEP, however, none had discussed PrEP with their clients. The themes related to PrEP included mistrust, uncertainty, and support. So an example of PrEP support is when we asked participants if they were comfortable with sharing information about PrEP with their clients, and they replied, "I would definitely tell my clients about it, especially the ones that I know are just out there." So this participant supported PrEP for clients who are higher risk for HIV. An example of PrEP uncertainty is when we asked a client about the perception of PrEP, and they replied, "I don't know, I just thought it was unreal. Just, you never heard of it, and you just like, damn, STDs and all this been around for so long. They finally do it work? When they say highly effective to reduce, to lower risk, I was like, yeah, right. That's what I thought." So this participant was uncertain regarding PrEP because they were skeptical of PrEP's efficacy. An example of PrEP mistrust is when a participant was asked about their perception of PrEP and replied, "Because I feel like the pharmaceutical companies are just in it for the money, but push whatever drug off on you that they can get you to take, whether it's good for you or not. I'm like, most of these drugs have worse side effects than what the drug actually cures or helps." So this participant was mistrustful of PrEP because of their overall mistrust of the medical field. Continuing on with the results, despite varying attitudes regarding PrEP, most participants were willing to educate their clients about PrEP or sexual health through discussions, media, or pamphlets. An example of a participant willing to educate their client through pamphlets is when we asked participants if they were willing to suggest PrEP to their clients through flyers, and one participant replied, "On my station or something that I can give to them. Say, hey, take this to your friends," or "Girl, I know you don't need this, but tell your homegirl because the situation you were telling me about." Those participants liked the idea of pamphlets because they avoided PrEP stigma by just saying the information was for their friends. An example of a participant willing to educate their client through media is when a participant actually didn't like the idea of pamphlets because she felt that they invaded privacy, but she liked the idea of playing a commercial at her salon and explained that by saying, "Because I'm listening to the commercial, but you don't know that I'm listening to the commercial. I'm listening to the conversation over there. I'm still getting the information, but I don't have to say, like, why do you need to know about that? What do you got going on?" So this participant liked the idea of commercials because she felt that commercials were very discreet and that people didn't know you were listening to the commercial or needed to know information about PrEP. An example of a participant willing to educate their client through discussions is when a client said, "So if I know someone that's sexually active with a lot of people and they just constantly talking about it, then I would be like, 'Have you ever heard of PrEP or PEP?' And then they'd be like, 'No.' And that's when I would enlighten them on it, like, maybe you want to try it, since your lifestyle is this way." So this participant was willing to discuss PrEP with their clients, especially ones they felt that were at higher risk for HIV. So in conclusion, we found that Black cosmetologists and estheticians have varying opinions regarding PrEP. It's important to consider all of these perspectives when designing interventions for Black women and/or the beauty salon environment. Our study also suggests that educating cosmetologists and estheticians on the misconceptions, efficacy, and purpose of PrEP may encourage them to disseminate information they learn to their clients. I would like to thank UCLA CHIPS, UCLA NCSP, and Charles Drew University for their support. Thank you for listening to my presentation.